Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is part two of the June monthly forecast. In this video, we're going to talk about the June 2024 Bazi strategies. Now, guys, I just want to tell you that this is a re-recording. As you know, during our live sharing in Talk 3 Talk 4 every Wednesday night, we do go into depth with these strategies every month. All right. However, I've decided to re-record it in English because in our live streams we love talking in Malaysian English. Also, there's this English, and then there's Cantonese, and then there's Manglish added in. So I know that it's not easy if you're not used to how Malaysians speak or you don't understand Cantonese. So I decided to redo the video for you. So if you have already watched the live stream and if if you can understand us 100%, then please feel free to skip this video, okay? Right. So now we're going to talk about the June 2024 parts of strategies. And basically, I've split this into three key elements. This would be for business, for career, and also for personal development. But please note, these are suggestions only. Okay. So let's go to the next one. So, important disclaimer: most of the terminologies, in fact, all right, in this free sharing are copyrighted materials belonging to Dato Joya and the JY Mastery Academy. If you want to learn more about what they have to offer, please visit joyup.com. I've been a student since 2017. Okay, so right. Getting the best from these forecasts, like I said, this is part two. So part one is the Chiman Destiny Palace because the Chiman affects our inner world, how we feel. Right. The part two is Bazi because Bazi is like how can I make the full use of these opportunities coming in a certain month, in this case, June 2024. Okay. And the third part will be the Feng Shui Flying Stars, where you could select the right sector to use in order to further your goals, whatever they may be. Okay. So, with the month of the horse, of course, we must have Maximus. Okay. So, is his name Maximus? Yes, I think it is. Okay. So, we've got the relief god, heavenly relief, and 8 seats. Cool. All right. Very nice. All right. The rest of the stuff, not so nice. Okay. But let's be positive here. Okay. Let's just think that this is a great month for us to resolve a lot of issues, right? Let's look at the very interesting parts of chart for June 2024. Okay, so heavenly stamps obviously clashing with each other, right? Creating a lot of surface conflicts. But note the three harmony between the dragon, the rat, and the monkey, suggesting either hidden conspiracies or secret resolutions forming. So perhaps the surface conflicts are merely distractions, right? Talk about clamor to the east and strike to the west, right? So, but what are they fighting for? Obviously, money lah. Okay, from the perspective of this chart, the weak wealth element suggests that the economy is still not doing so great, and a lot of people are banding together in an all-out attempt to grab what they can. So trying to win the financial war, don't care about winning the battle. So the strongest element in this chart actually is this Distinct Fire Direct Officer star, suggesting that the way forward is to forge ourselves into that metaphorical flaming sword that is literally the visual representation of the Geng Wu. Okay, so that why? So that we become better, lor. Okay, so animal signs affected. Well, the goat will have a month-long combination with the horse, okay, connecting you with the opportunities, visible or otherwise, from the June 2024 energies. Okay, the tiger and the dog, all right, get ready to experience an uptick in passion and a flaming urge to take action. So here you may need to tread the fine line between impulsive action versus discipline strategies. Okay, so the rat. Okay, get ready to deal with some mood swings, especially those of you who may have a tendency to ride the emotional roller coaster. So, being aware ahead of time can actually help you create some strategies in advance, okay, to mitigate that. So the um the horse, of course, self punishment. Again, with the impulsive action, when your horse meets another horse, self punishment is formed, and this is an uptick in a feeling of competitiveness. Is it good? Is it bad? Depends. If you are the type who needs a challenge to get into action, this may not be a bad outcome. Okay, so the ox rein in your impatience in June. The horse and ox arm could easily trigger your impatience and recklessness. And for those of you with the rabbit, since the rabbit holds the signal star in 2024, the destruction here could actually mean an opportunity to resolve a health related issue once and for all. Okay, so shall we go into the 10-day masters? Okay, so remember how I said that the Geng Wu, or the metal horse, is literally seen as a flaming sword. So hence this month's photos are all inspired by that flaming sword. So in June 2024, Geng Metal Day Master sees a friend, your friend month countering your indirect wealth. Okay, if you've been planning to forego sleep for a month in an all-out chase for wealth, well, that would be in line with this month's energy. And I hesitate to judge if this is good or bad, okay? Just you guys know your limits, okay? So possible strategies to deploy business, self-fund a project. Okay. You in May, you had Kung Metal Day Masters had the opportunity to attract some form of investments for your project. So if this did not pan out as you had hoped, you may need to look at a spot of DIY in June, at least just to get your keynote project off the ground. Okay. So the in terms of business as well, you could in order to benefit from group action, first you must be better. Okay. If May had indeed brought you the investors you were looking for, the friend month could actually bring you the opportunity to either lead or join a group of people in search of wealth opportunities. Right. But within the Geng Wu month is your friend sitting on a direct officer star. Potential power struggles. So the message from the month energy is very obvious. In order to benefit from being a part of any partnerships or joint ventures, or even a short term collaboration, we need to be better. Okay, so you find the strength to fight for what is right for yourself. We'll deal with the blowback in July. Okay, so career friend month, very good for networking, of course. Yeah, I know you're thinking, oh my god, right? So, uh, it's with the friend sitting on the right officer, it's not about just haphazard networking. Like I just go out there and just meet whoever. We're not politicians, okay? So the usual networking strategy is always to ask ourselves, who do I need to know next? All right, but frequently that question is hard to answer, right? Isn't it? Right? Because it's like, who do I need to? I don't know, right? So let's flip that around. Let's talk about who needs to know you. Does that help clarity? Who needs to know me so that I can grow my career? Okay. If you still need another hint, places associated with the friend star include cafes, coffee bars, and most pertinently, professional associations. Got your hint now? Okay. So with self development, if none of the above, none of these two appeals, you want to use the month energy for self development, then June is a good month for the Gung Metal Day Master to pause for a self check to ensure that you are progressing in the right way. Okay, check out this cute guy. I like him. All right, Xin Metal Day Master. Okay, the Geng Wu energy carries your rock wealth. Right, rock wealth sitting on 7 killings is literally rock wealth forged by 7 killings is literally a warrior with a sword. Okay, if I put a burning sword in your hand, what are you going to use it for? So for business owners, your rock wealth sitting on 7 killings is an opportunity to forge your organization into that metaphorical flaming sword that I seem to be so obsessed about this month, right? It's about taking a look at your corporate culture and organizational ecosystem, finding ways to bring them together into a cohesive whole. This is often a problem that is common among mature businesses. Because everyone is ticking along on their own, you find that sometimes the departments are not even working together. Some ideas for this: create group activities, join exhibitions, create interdepartmental competitions, those kind of stuff. Okay, so if you're a career professional, well, Rob Wealth can also mean staff, your team. Okay, so what you could do is that you can create space for your staff to help you carry the bulk of the responsibilities while you focus solely on the most important things. Okay, for personal development, okay, Rob Month brings a desire to spend money. Okay, retail therapy. Okay, so especially in a month when your rock wealth counters your direct wealth. So, in the traditional or classical interpretation of Bazi, this is a time when money is lost. So that's why they don't like it. Okay, this interpretation is not wrong, right? But the more pertinent question is why? Why would money be lost? Because when your rock wealth counters direct wealth, it increases the tendencies to gamble or speculate. So if you're planning to attend any of those many workshops or events with potential upsell, I'd suggest freezing your credit card into a block of ice. Okay, so we create a cooling off period. Okay, let's move on to the Ren Water Day Master. Um, See, in the past few months, the Rainwater Day Master may have felt like they were forced into a course of action that is not of their choosing. So, by May, most Rainwater Day Masters would have already found a way to create a new flow, effectively found a way to turn the tides on a potentially negative situation. And by June, some opportunities to life hack or find loopholes may present itself. So get ready. Okay. So in terms of business, go after the underserved market. Right. June's Geng Wu month sees your indirect resource sitting on direct wealth. Okay. So excuse me. All right. So the this suggests, right, from the perspective of the Rainwater Day Masters, that there are pockets of underserved markets waiting to be explored. To reach them, the indirect resource serves best as a research tool to find the loopholes, right? Also for business, indirect resource meeting eating God at the heavenly stamp can literally mean addiction. Okay, this is actually a very potent energy to exploit for business owners, right? So I'm not suggesting you get hooked on something. Okay, instead, here is an opportunity to get your fans, followers, or consumers addicted to you. Okay, so there's so many ways to do it. You could use the month's energy to design habit forming communications avenues, right? Example, daily live streams at the same time every day. And yes, a month is enough to create a habit. So alternatively, you could also create a sense of ownership among your clients by allowing them to customize or personalize their experience with your products or services, right? It's a month's energy. It's enough to get you started. For career and personal life, well, life hacking. Okay, so the Gengwu energy is ideal for that. All right, doesn't matter what you hack, could be an easier way to get a work task done, a more effective way to get through those horrible house chores, a simpler way to manage your money. Anything really. Just don't hack anyone's website. Okay, okay, that was a joke. Okay, so let's go to the pretty Gui Water Day Master, right? So now in June 2024, Geng Wu month, all right, while your Ren Water Day Masters are searching for loopholes, Gui Water Day Masters need to be ready to strike while the iron is hot, all right? And you need to move fast, like lightning fast, okay? Listen, strike while the lightning. You knew I was going to use this idiom somewhere, okay? You just didn't know who I would give it to, right? So now, business and career. This is a great month for some myth busting. See, Water Day Masters has a whole year to play with your herding officer. So now, with the direct resource coming in to counter the herding officer, the obvious business strategy is to engage in a sport of myth busting to address common misconceptions about your business or industry, and by doing so, creating the reputation of being the real deal. All right, but merely contradicting a myth may backfire, especially when we're working with just 1 month's energy. So, straight up telling people they are wrong, okay, actually makes them dig themselves into a bigger hole, you know. Hmm. No, flat earthers. Hmm. Okay, so that wasn't well done. Okay, so better to replace with a plausible alternative, uh, or a plausible explanation backed up by compelling evidence to make the facts stickier than the myths. All right. So the thing with misconception is this: they're sticky. That's why people have there's a lot of this going on. So for business owner, this benefit comes in from, of course, enhanced marketing. For career professionals, this will also help you bolster your reputation as an expert in a given field, which we want, right? So personal development, well, coaching. Okay, this is the latest ideal sidekick for almost everyone, right up there with I want to trade. Okay, so but honestly, if you stop to think about it, we all coach every day with our colleagues, our family members, our friends. You know, every time someone comes to us for a shoulder to cry on, looking for a listening ear, even a word of advice, are we not coaching? So what's so special with June? Supported by your indirect wealth and seven killings, conditions are ripe to start charging for advice. The right resource sitting on indirect wealth and seven killings is impetus to start monetizing your knowledge if you are ready. Okay, so I know parts of students who have studied the art for years without ever charging for their free consults. That's okay, that's cool, that's you do you. But if you feel bad taking money, ask them to pay it forward to a charity of your choice. Okay, like seriously, basically this month's energy is telling you to get the exchange of equivalent value loop going. Okay, and if it's further confidence you need to start consulting, I actually offer tutorial services to help beginner parts consultants prepare for your upcoming consults. Hit me up by email if you want to learn more. Okay, so let's move on to the Jia Wood Day Master. I like this photo too. It's so cool, right? Did you know that Jia Wood Day Masters have an iron will? Of course, your seven killings is literally Geng Metal. Okay, so June 2024 brings the iron will, that tough, no nonsense seven killings to the heavenly stamps. It's time to set it on fire. So, for business and career, okay, remember how in May 2024, one of the strategies was to play it cool, right? Business as usual on the surface while you prepare something awesome to launch. June is the time for that launch, with your seven killing stars simultaneously forged by your Ting Fire Hurting Officer and produced by your G Earth Direct Wealth. Now is the time to announce something exciting and innovative to gain a competitive advantage. Now, I'm going to ask you to imagine this with me. Okay, you're a tree growing happily on a nice big-ish patch of land. Suddenly in 2024, there's this whole bunch of other trees coming around and start crowding you. Okay. Imagine if you could suddenly in June sprout a flaming sword like this guy here. Right. You know, I know we're teetering on the edge of fantasy. Humor me here, okay? I'm not smoking nothing. Right? What would you, the tree, do with that flaming sword? You chop down the nearest trees to give yourself some space, of course. So, based on this analogy, it's like staking out your piece of ground, isn't it? The objective of this announcement or launch should be aimed at giving yourself room to play. Okay, with that, I look forward to seeing many Jia Wood active in June. Okay, so personal development acts that self sabotage. A flaming sword in a Jia Wood's hand can either cut outwards or cut inwards. In the sphere of personal development, the Geng Woman creates an ideal environment to act that self sabotage once and for all. We all self sabotage for different reasons and in different ways. For some, it's perfectionism and unrealistic expectations. For others, it could be a fear of failure leading to procrastination, or perhaps a fear of change. Whatever your reason may be, know that if you're ready to take action, June 2024's monthly energy is actually offering you some much needed support. Let's move on to the Yi Wood Day Master. If you can't beat the players, change the game. Okay, so in May, Ewood Day Masters were confronted with a month where it seemed like everyone was going after the same opportunities, right? May felt competitive, didn't it? June's Geng Wu month has an interesting proposal for you, which, as I said earlier, if you can't beat the players, change the game. So, in terms of businesses, right? This is talking about strategic thinking and adaptability. It's about moving the goalposts. Given that your direct officer is being supported by your Think Fire Eating God and your Wealth Star as well, right? You will have plenty of strategic thinking power at your disposal. So instead of persistently trying to beat the others using the same approach, consider altering the rules or dynamics of the game itself. Redefine success or introduce new strategies that give you an advantage. If you're already losing, what have you got to lose? Okay. Sometimes success lies in changing the rules or shifting the focus. All right. So the best way to win is to redefine what winning means. Okay. So when it comes to career and personal, it's a little bit different. When it comes to the leadership styles of the 10-day masters, the innate flexibility of the Yi Wood Day master can often lead to the misconception that you are a wishy-washy leader, soft, non-threatening. Okay. Most, I'm saying most, okay, not all. Most Yiwood Day Masters have a hard time enforcing rules and strict codes of conduct among their staff. Very often, people quickly find loopholes because the Yiwood boss is too busy bending backwards and people pleasing. So in June, it's time to turn a deaf ear to the sob stories. Okay. So this month's energy is supportive for you to bring the hammer down on the lax behavior, the unethical practices, and any actions that compromises the integrity of your team or organization. Okay. In other words, in June, skivers beware, your evil boss is on the warpath. Okay, let's move on to the Pink Fire Day Master. Okay. For the Pink Fire Day Master, the energy of June 2024 is all about leveraging your existing power or influence to achieve your goal, right? It's certainly not a month to hibernate in the office doing the same old, okay? Dear routine driven Pink Fire. Okay, I'm talking to myself here. So from a business perspective, all right, let's first get the bad news out of the way, okay? From a traditional perspective, indirect wealth, sitting on rob wealth, can bring also the possibilities of wealth loss. Okay? Now, let's flip this energy. Basically, indirect wealth being counted here by the rob wealth is talking about giving first, earning later. In other words, loss leader, looking from that perspective, and suddenly there's this myriad of ways that starts popping up to leverage on the same energy. See how things change when we stop thinking scarcity. Okay, so obviously June's energy is supportive of launching a loss leader aimed at new customer acquisition or brand loyalty. Example would be an almost obsolete thing, printers. Printers are cheap, refills are expensive. So the printers are the loss leaders. However, if you want to deploy this strategy, you must be ready to cross sell or upsell. Okay, but the first aim is to increase the customer base. So, how many ways that we can that a business can use this? A good month to launch a email marketing campaign, even maybe a free newsletter. Again, giving value first to build up that follower base or engagement. Another way would be to leverage on your existing followers and enhance their loyalty. Businesses frequently use charitable causes to deploy this type of strategy. Could be donations, could even be call to action, those kind of stuff. The list is literally endless. Okay, so now for career development, you could actually use the month's energy to start creating, leading, or transforming your existing team into a rapid pioneering team within your organization. So, this would be a team that is great at problem solving, innovation, creativity, efficiency, adaptable, lean, optimizes resource utilization. So, obviously, yes, a big task, impossible to complete in a month. But you could start the process in June. That's what the energy is giving you. Right. So the vision of the team must be there before you even start to take concrete steps, like recruiting the people that you need, training, exposure, all those kind of stuff. Right. So personal development would be self motivation. Your ability to self motivate may be put to test in June 2024 with your indirect resource being attacked by the indirect wealth on the heavenly stamps. It could cause a measure of inertia, which is why the suggested idea in the business and career segments are so aggressive, right? Being Fire Day Masters may need to follow a bigger vision to find the willpower to cut a new path through that forest. Okay, Think Fire Day Master. All right. I chose this photo because I tried having a candle holding a sword. It looked ridiculous. Okay, after a month of self pampering and self rewarding in May, it's time for Think Fire to gently ease back into the workaday. Okay, so in June 2024's Geng Wu, Think Fire sees direct wealth sitting on a friend star. Okay, from a business and career perspective, direct wealth months is always a good month for a progress check. Okay, because direct wealth is all about the measurables. So, good way to use this energy: take stock, measure progress, balance the books, work on the budget, all that boring stuff that is part and parcel of running a business or a career. Well, when it comes to personal investment, though, right, where a month where your direct wealth is countering your direct resource usually comes with health warnings. Typically, these health issues are related to overwork. Hence, easing you into a busy month is a safer solution. Additionally, or we could use this month's energy to invest in self education and create some monetization strategies to further monetize your assets. Okay, now, next, last two. The Wu Earth Day Master. Okay. In May, you had the chance to stand up and be counted. Well, you're not done yet because the June's Geng Wu month, all right, is still putting you in the lead. So, in terms of this one, is all in one. Okay, business, career, personal. Right, a mountain with a big fiery sword is an awe-inspiring sight. It's literally impossible to ignore. So, when a mountain rises up, trees get uprooted. In this case, the trees represent your seven killings. Note that the keyword is uprooted, right? Earth Day masters have this tendency, they bear the weight of problems for a long time, like trees growing on a hill, and then a clash happens, mountain rises up and the trees get uprooted. Therefore, a Wu Earth Day Master's way of dealing with problems is usually to first ignore, ignore, ignore. Then, when instigated into action, will literally resolve the obstacles at the root cause. So, for Wu Earth Day Master, problem dissolving is a zero sum game. So, with for the Wu Earth Day Master, in a month where eating God is countering your seven killings, in the on the heavenly stamps, Here's your chance to identify one, it's a month's energy, identify one obstacle that you want to remove once and for all. Is it for business, career, or personal development? That's your choice. Is it wealth, health, or relationships? Well, again, that's your choice because it's a month's energy. You only need to work on one. All right. This is how we use 八字 to create progress. Just one thing per month. Okay, and next is the G Earth Day Master. Okay, this is very different. In May, okay, one of the suggested strategies for the G Earth Day Master was to acquire more resources. So the end goal was to create this uptick in self-confidence. We're going to need that self-confidence in June, okay, because in June we're going against the grain. Okay, so for business owners, be contrary in your marketing. If you're a business owner, Hurting Officer Month is always a month to literally double down on marketing efforts. It's time to challenge the status quo, push the envelope, do something that nobody else is doing because this Hurting Officer Month is supported by indirect resource. All right, so do remember that you must be able to back up your claims with supported data, research, or case studies. Um, it's not always about being contrarian for the sake of being a contrarian. Okay, in general, because the hurting officer adores the limelight. Okay, so it's a good month to be provocative, be unexpected, be spontaneous, delight us with something surprising. Okay, so with in terms of career and personal development, I know I wrote that get triggered in a good way. Okay. So when your hurting officer clashes against or counters, actually, the right term is counters the direct officer on the heavenly stamp, arguments ensue. At least that's the conservative classical interpretation of 八字. Why? The question is always why. Because hurting officer likes to be unrestrained. Direct officer represents constraint. But we do have human agency, don't we? Right? Knowing that now, can we school our words to avoid arguments? Of course we can. Right? So here's a better potential for a month where your hurting officer counters your direct officer. It's a good month to get triggered in a good way. Sometimes we need negative triggers to spur us into action, like getting dared to do something. With awareness, these types of negative triggers can push us to prove that we can, and by doing so, become better. Okay. So if you're a G Earth Day Master, be on the lookout for these triggers in June 2024. So that's it for the June 2024 Bazi strategies. I hope you've enjoyed this sharing. If you're looking for a consult, if you're needing to ask some questions or something like that, questions goes into the comments, please. Right, and if you're looking for a consult, my links, you can. Well, sorry, my links are in the video description. Sorry, I was distracted. And also, well, guys, I could do with a subscriber or two if you don't mind. All right. And if you've enjoyed this sharing, I would appreciate you giving me a like so that the YouTube algo knows that this type of um, videos are useful for you. Okay. Great. Thank you for watching. All right. And coming up next will be part three, which is the flying stars for June 2024. Okay. Until I see you in the next video. Bye bye now.